Hello and welcome to the TCF Morning Show. It is Wednesday, December 22nd, and this morning I am joined by Boomy at Boomy TCF. I am Zach Lilia at Z Lilia. TCF, the main page is at typical_Chicago on Twitter. This morning we'll be talking about the Bears losing to the Vikings on Monday Night Football 17-9. The Bulls, they beat the Lakers and the Rockets after coming back from all the COVID protocols. And they play the Raptors tonight. They're 19-10. The Blackhawks, you will not see them play until at least after the 26th. And big news today, no NHL player allowed to play in the Olympics. We'll have a little NFL Week 15 talk, some college bowl season talk, and we will end the show like we always do with Boomys Wacky Web Story. If you want to follow us on Facebook and Instagram, just type in Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. Go over to YouTube, type in Typical Chicago Fans, subscribe to the YouTube page, morning shows, podcasts, interviews, all on there. And then go over to wherever you get your podcast from and type in Typical Chicago Fans. If it is Apple, please subscribe, rate, and review. Unsubscribe, resubscribe. If you're at a family holiday during Christmas, make sure that you go up to your family's phones and subscribe to Typical Chicago Fans. It's our
notice.
Yeah, it's your Christmas present to us. That's all we want. That's all we want. And then if it's anywhere else, just type in Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. Shout out to connectroasters.com. I know it's a little close on Christmas, but you can always say, hey, the Christmas present is in the mail. People still love that. So go over to connectroasters.com and get all your coffee needs. They have some merch on there. I have their coffee cup right here. If you want all of that stuff, go over to connectroasters.com. Like you said, you can always print it out and show them what they are about to get. That gift is still that's a gift that you give after Christmas. That's like having Christmas all over again. So connectroasters.com if you want to do that. But Boomy, how are we doing today?
Doing well, man. Off of work for a couple weeks, so can't complain. Just no snow yet. I think they said it was the first or the longest that Chicago has ever gone without a recorded snowfall this late into the winter. So
I think on Friday, Christmas Eve, it's supposed to be like 50 degrees.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not crazy. I wish we had snow on Christmas. That's really the only day of the year I need it. But I went outside in a hoodie and gym shorts. It was a little brisk, but you got through it. It wasn't one of those, it was unbearable.
Hey, I'll take this weather. I like this
Absolutely.
weather.
I'm not complaining.
But let's get right into the topics here. We had the Bears losing to the Vikings 17-9. I don't know what to really think about that game. Justin Fields playing all right. You'd like to see him play a little bit better. He had another fumble. I think he leads the league in fumbles, unfortunately. But rookie mistakes. What I really liked about this game.
Only lost one, though.
Oh, yeah, 2 fumbles, lost 1. But still, I think it's like his 12th or 13th fumble of the season. But what I really liked, and I know people will say whatever about it, the Tevin Jenkins, he got into a little bit of a fight. I know maybe it wasn't really what he thought the hit was, but that is showing that he is out there. He's out there fighting for a team that is going nowhere. He knows he has a future with this team. He's standing up for his quarterback. You love to see that. And also Akeem Hicks. Akeem Hicks did not have to play that game, and he's playing a game for a Bears team who is, 4-8 now, or I don't even know what it is.
4-10.
4-10. And he's out there playing his butt off. He's playing. That defense was not the reason they lost that game. That defense, because really and truthfully, the Vikings did not play well. Kirk Cousins, Dalvin Cook, they did not look like themselves. And it's because that Bears defense, who, was injured, but guess what? They all went out there and they played like they were actually playing for something.
Yeah, one of the biggest things, like you said there, Zach, I mean, the Vikings should have theoretically won that game like 40-17.
Yeah, because it never felt like the Bears were going to win that game, but they were never out of it.
No, and you look at, the stats comparison. The Bears had 24 first downs. Vikings only had 13. Third down efficiency killed the Bears, and fourth down efficiency was 2 for 5. So not terrible, but rushing yards was almost equal. The Bears had 255 passing yards compared to 61. They had 370 total yards compared to 193. I mean, for a team that is, with the loss last night, they're eliminated from the playoffs. But the fact of the matter is they didn't quit. They didn't play well. I mean, but at the end of the day, they could have laid down and died in that. And you saw some things. I mean, like you said, Tevin Jenkins, still kind of fighting for his guys. And,
it's always the play calling that confuses me. Some of the fourth downs they didn't go for, the fourth downs they did go for. It's like, what are we doing here? We gotta pick a spot here.
Yeah, exactly. And you saw Matt Nagy, finally look a little fired up and, slamming his flag down and taking an unsportsmanlike penalty to yell at the rest. The refereeing was very, very poor. I mean, I think we can all agree to that.
We found out last night that no coach has ever been thrown out of an NFL game.
Yeah, that kind of blows my mind.
It would have been cool to see. I would have respected that.
Absolutely. I mean, but like you said, there's some pieces there, and whoever the next Bears coach is going to be, I mean, he's got, something nice. And Justin Fields, I mean, Christ, he had, 250 plus passing yards and still wasn't even, they didn't call a great game for him. And he still went out and just balled out of his mind. So he's got to clear up the fumbles. That's obviously a big issue. There.
But yeah, we'll see what happens the next. I think there's 4 games left? 3?
3 weeks left, I believe.
Yep, 3 weeks. Because for the first time ever, we have an 18-game season.
Yeah, and like you said, though, the biggest thing to take away from last night is that the Vikings are terrible, and
I think that the Vikings are overrated. Bad. I think Kirk Cousins is overrated. People are always like, oh, he plays well, whatever. Even in that primetime game against the Chicago Bears, there was a lot. They should have lost that game.
Yeah, if they were playing anybody but a Bears team that really struggled with the play calling and, obviously, what they were doing last night, and you put up 17 points, you play any team that's got a 500 or above record, you're probably not going to win that game.
Yeah, because they got to play the Rams, Packers, and then Bears to end the season. Yeah. So
good luck.
See how that goes. The Bulls, like I said, they came back from COVID on Sunday, COVID protocols. Well, they still got some players. I think Zach LaVine is still in COVID protocols. And Devin Dotson actually just went into the COVID protocols on, it would have been Tuesday. But they beat the Lakers. They beat the Rockets. The Rockets, that was an awesome game to watch. And the Lakers, that was just a back-and-forth game, and the Bulls ended up winning it because they have DeMar DeRozan, who is just playing out of his mind. Awesome. He's bringing back the mid-range game. For anyone that thought that this was a bad signing, even if you didn't say it was the worst signing, like some people said, even if you doubted the signing, why would you get DeMar DeRozan? Because he's an all-star, because he's a very good basketball player.
Because he can score 26 points in 32 minutes of play.
Yeah, he's a veteran that is leading this team. You can tell that the guys just love playing with him. So I love it.
Yeah, I mean, that Lakers game was phenomenal. That was a game that, you kind of hope to see come playoff time and the Bulls, be able to weather the storm. And, the Bulls were up a little bit and the Lakers go up. I mean, that's the NBA. And then, you're able to pull it out at the end, without Zach LaVine. And then you come out against Houston and you're up 25 nearly the whole game. And the contributions, I mean, they got 60-plus points off the bench.
Say what you want about the Rockets. They were 9 for 4 in their last, 13 games. They've been playing well.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like ever since that day they beat the Bulls that they've been playing much better.
Yeah, I think that was their second win of the season.
Yeah, and obviously the Bulls getting hit a little bit worse, but they need to go out and give Alfonso McKinney a contract. That kid played out of his mind.
That was awesome.
He's obviously a Chicago kid. He had 16 and 29 minutes of play. I did see they went out and signed Ilsan Ilyasova. So if you watch the Bucks in the last, decade, he was there for a while. And then they also signed kind of the Instagram phenom, Mac McClung, that was at Georgetown and Texas Tech. He was with the Lakers for a little bit and then eventually got cut right before the season, but they signed him to a 10-day deal. And, hopefully he can gel. Both of those guys, when they do get their shot, can play like the rest of the bench played on Tuesday because, when you have guys out, major players like Zach LaVine, I'm not saying you need 60 points out of the bench every single night because that's not really feasible. But, when you're down guys to be able to come out and get production off your bench like that, take that all day.
They play Toronto in Chicago tonight. They're
no,
19.
Wednesday.
Well, yeah, tonight.
Yeah, you're right. Sorry. brain's a little. I told you I'm
Come on,
off work
Boomy.
for
It's
the
the
next
morning.
2
Yeah,
weeks.
it's 5 a.m. I know it's early, Boomy.
Yeah.
So I understand. Yeah, they play tonight against Toronto, 19-10. We'll see how that goes. Awesome to watch. Make sure you are watching all these Bulls games because they're back to just being fun to watch.
And then
The
they're off until the
Blackhawks,
26th. So, get this win, finish it
yeah,
off,
they
take a
don't play
couple days,
Christmas
get
Day
people
or
healthy.
Christmas Eve. So,
Well, they're Sunday the 26th, not till 7. So a lot of time off. Get those guys healthy. Let's get back at it.
speaking of the 26th, Boomy, the Blackhawks will not be playing until at least after the 26th. I don't know how that's all going to go. It could be extended. Because they are having just a lot of problems in the NHL with COVID, just like a lot of the other major sports, the NFL. It seems like every 5 or 10 minutes, somebody new is going into the
Yeah.
COVID protocols. And then also the NHL players will not be playing in the Olympics, which is probably huge for these players who just love playing for their country. They just can't allow it right now because how weird it is. The
Yeah.
Olympics is in the middle of the season, so they can't
It's
really
always bad,
allow
but like
that
the
traveling and stuff.
travel
Yeah.
restrictions and everything going on right now, you can't
I mean, they're
risk
having
it. I
enough
mean,
trouble with playing teams in Canada. Like, you think about going,
yeah.
where is the Olympics at?
It is in Beijing or yeah, it's in China.
Yeah, so like thinking about
And then
how
there's
long
that
they'd
whole
be
issue,
there. And
the United States political boycott of the Olympics, but we're still sending athletes. I think, but obviously, I think the biggest cachet in all this right now with the NHL is COVID stuff because, obviously they're having their issues right now, and they're the first league
that's a lot
to
of
suspend.
traveling, so they just can't
Yeah,
risk that right now.
yeah, you got to worry about taking care of
Yeah,
and
they got to
getting
finish the
your
season,
league healthy.
which they have a lot of money banked on.
Exactly.
NFL Week 15. It's been a weird week because we had a game on Thursday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday. So it's been exciting. I loved the Tuesday night game and then the doubleheader Monday. They should just
I do
keep that
too.
going. It might be a thing for the next few weeks too, because you never know. Like you said, with all the players being in the COVID protocols. But Boomy, what were your thoughts on Week 15?
Man, I think if you just look at some of the playoff implications that were there, we saw some really good games. We saw on Thursday, Kansas City having to go to overtime to beat LA. That's a big one in the AFC West. The Patriots, who were one of the hottest teams in the AFC, they get handled on Saturday night by an Indianapolis team that looks like they're surging.
Tom Brady gets shut out on Sunday Night Football for the first
Yeah,
time since I think it was like 2006, maybe.
yeah, something like
Boomy, do
that.
you know the team and the coach?
Yeah, you told me this last night, so I'll refrain from answering.
Then never mind. Yeah, it's Nick Saban, Miami Dolphins. Who would have thought?
Yeah, that's going way back in the playbook.
Yeah.
And then you move to Sunday, and then you get two teams that you're probably going to see in the playoffs play a close, not a great game, but a close game. The Packers beat the Ravens. At least in a compelling game there at the end. Buffalo kind of gets things right against a bad Carolina team. I don't really know what to think of Buffalo right now. I can't decide if they're legit
I don't
or
think
not.
they're very good.
No, I don't think so either.
I like Josh Allen a lot. He's very cool, very awesome guy. But
yeah, they're not what they were the
I don't
last
think
couple of
that
years.
team's very good.
I agree. Pittsburgh kind of. I don't know if they're just playing for Ben since this is just, he said it's going to be his last year. They beat a good Tennessee team. I don't really know what to think of Pittsburgh right now. The rest of their schedule is pretty tough. And then obviously the shocker of the weekend, the Cardinals get absolutely manhandled by the 13 Lions. That one was very, very surprising. Dallas looked okay in their game against the Giants. The Giants are just bad. I mean, they're trotting Mike Glennon out there attempting to do something. 49ers look really good. Obviously, I don't know how much. I mean, you can say what you want, whether the 49ers are good or the Falcons are bad, but at the end of the day, the Falcons are technically still in the hunt. They're not last year's Falcons. They're not what they used to be. And then I don't know what to make of Monday night's games. Obviously, we talked a lot about the Bears game, but like the Browns basically went and played with like 10 guys, not being able to play and lose to the Raiders at home. So I don't know what to make of that. And then obviously Tuesday night we got Seattle and LA with a lot of COVID stuff going on, and then the WFT and the Philadelphia Eagles. So it was a good weekend. I mean, I felt like it was kind of a boring weekend if you're an overs guy like we are, because there was a ton of unders. But all in all, you saw some things out of some playoff teams that need to either right the ship real quick or kind of patch up a couple holes as they head into the playoffs.
It's going to be an exciting next few weeks in the NFL. The AFC, NFC, it's very different because there's going to be, I think, maybe an NFC team that is going to be under 500. The AFC is very top-heavy, and it's just we'll see how it goes. But if anything, it will be exciting.
That's for sure.
Gotta love that. If you want some more football, we got college bowl season. Wednesday, we got Missouri versus Army. And then Thursday, we got North Texas, Miami of Ohio. And then we have UCF, Florida. That's going to be an awesome game, I think.
That will be a fun
Say
one.
what you want about Florida. UFC versus Florida is just it's going to be
UCF,
fun.
Not the UFC.
Sorry, UCF.
I was hoping you would have got like Conor McGregor out there to try and.
Did I say it the first time wrong?
No, I think you got it right the first time.
The second time.
I'm just picturing like Dustin Poirier getting off the UCF bus, just ready to beat some people's faces in.
Friday, Christmas Eve, we have Memphis versus Hawaii in the Hawaii Bowl.
Over.
And then Saturday, Christmas Day, we have Georgia State versus Ball State. So we got a bowl game on both Christmas Eve and Christmas, so that's something you got to love.
Yeah, and some good teams. I mean, North Texas and Miami of Ohio is a sneaky decent bowl. I think that they're both kind of growing programs. They both finished the year 6-6, but like I feel like both of those programs are trending up. You want to see what programs like that are looking for in the future. Missouri Army take the under. I feel like neither of those teams can score, but it's any bowl game's better than no bowl game. I'll say that for sure. But then, like you said, I mean, Christmas Eve. Give me Memphis and Hawaii all day, give me it every year. That's fine. The over is at 55.5. I can't hammer that over hard enough.
I love taking the overs in all these games.
Yeah, there's no reason that. I mean, especially in the bigger ones where like big name guys are not playing to sit out, for draft or whatever. I feel like this just offense. I mean, it's crazy. And you've been hitting overs like crazy.
I've taken a bunch of overs. I just took the over in the Kent State-Wyoming game, and it's 31-42 with 8 minutes left in the game. You got to love that.
Gotta love it.
Because you got to see the bowl games that it's not that they don't mean anything, but these teams are just going out there to have fun. So they're just going to score.
Yes.
They don't care if they're down 20 or 30. They're just going to keep scoring.
Gotta love offense, Big Z.
But I did see something in this game that kind of it sucks. That rule where it's the ejection if you have the helmet to helmet, and it was this guy's last game in college football, and he gets kicked out for. I mean, what the letter of the law is? Yeah, that's helmet to helmet, but like he didn't mean to do it, and then now that's how his season's over.
Yeah,
his career's over.
On a positive note, at least that guy has a really cool story to tell in bars for the rest of his life.
I don't know if I'd tell that story. That wouldn't be a
I would.
Story.
I would absolutely would. Yeah, I got ejected in my final game that I ever played football.
Well, in the moment, you want to be playing, Boomy.
You're right. You do make a good point there.
Do you have a Boomys Wacky Web Story to end the show, Boomy?
Do I have a wacky web story? Of course.
It's almost Christmas Eve, so
I know we're nearing the anniversary of the mishap. That's another story for another day for our new listeners. You've seen in movies of people, stealing things around Christmas. Whatever the case may be, they may need down on their luck. You saw it in Home Alone, whatever it is. But an Akron, Ohio man has stolen the piece de resistance for stolen items around Christmas time. And that's because this man stole a 58-foot long pedestrian bridge.
Jeez Louise.
58
How do you just steal that?
It says that It is described as a Lego-like structure, crossed a river in Akron's Middlebury Run Park. This man removed the treated deck boards that were 10 foot wide. 10 foot wide, 6 foot tall. And they found the metal frame that he just kind of like disassembled and just took it. He was a 63-year-old man. He has been charged with a felony theft, according to the Akron police. So it stinks to be in that guy's family. You thought you were getting a 60-foot bridge for Christmas, and now the Akron PD are probably going to have to take that back. So wild things to steal during Christmas time, but this guy takes the cake here.
Yeah, I'm going to get away with taking away this 60-foot long bridge. No one will notice.
Yeah, that's
what are you going to do with that?
I really hope this guy has a property with like a massive pond or something that he was going to put it over, because this is just a harebrained idea if I've ever heard one.
But if we don't have another show before Christmas, I want to wish everyone a Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year. We'll most likely have one before the New Year, but we'll see what happens around Christmas. But this has been the TCF Morning Show, Wednesday, December 22nd. I've been joined by Boomy at Boomy TCF. Thank you for joining me this morning. I am Zach Lilia at Z Lilia TCF, the main page at typical_Chicago on Twitter. Go over to Facebook and Instagram, type in Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. Go over to YouTube, Typical Chicago Fans. Subscribe to the YouTube page. Morning shows, podcasts, interviews, food reviews, all on the YouTube page. And then wherever you get your podcast from, type in Typical Chicago Fans. You will find us on there. And shout out to connectroasters.com. Go over to there for all your coffee, merch, coffee cups, whatever you want. Well, I don't think whatever you want. Well, if you want coffee,
in the coffee game.
Yeah, whatever you want in the coffee game, it's on there. Connectroasters.com. Follow them on all social medias. Again, Merry Christmas. Hopefully everyone has a great Christmas holiday. Boomy, anything else?
We appreciate the support. So, thanks for everything over the year. We appreciate. We're pushing our 4-year anniversary, I believe, which is wild. But thanks for the support through the last year. Obviously, it's been crazy, but keep tuning in, keep telling your friends. We appreciate it. So we hope everyone that listens out there, watches, Spotify, Spreaker, Google Pod, wherever you get your podcasts, wherever you check us out at. We appreciate it. It does not go unnoticed. So thank you, and we really do hope you guys have a great holiday.
This has been the TCF Morning Show, Wednesday, December 22nd. We love you all.
Peace.